and welcome to this episode of Chord of the Week. In today's lesson I'm going to show you a really cool diminished chord. It comes from the diminished scale and you can use it in a symmetrical way like your kind of standard diminished chords, or you can use it in place of dominant 7 chords as well, and it gives a really tasteful sound as I just demonstrated there. So the chord that we're going to look at looks like this. Okay, so I'm going to teach you it in the key of G first, and it comes from the G half-whole diminished scale. So if you don't know what that is, it's well worth looking into to catch up with this lesson. So that's the scale and what it comes from. The actual chord itself is like that. So if we analyse this as being part of a G chord, we've got the flat 9 there, we've got the 3rd, the 5th and the G. So it's quite a harmonically undescript version of a G7 flat 9. Usually if you're playing a standard diminished chord, that might be the option that you go to for a G7 flat 9, but I think you'll agree that really captures the same sound despite the fact that it's got no 7th. Okay, so this chord, as I said before, it can be used in a symmetrical way. So for example, there is the chord in the key of G. Now if you're playing this scale in chords, the diminished scale, you get this type of thing going on where you keep playing these diminished chords across the fretboard, and then you get the full scale right there. So this chord here, the G7 flat 9, is the one that we're looking at, and you can move this up a minor 3rd, like so. I guess you can move it up again as well. And you'll hear players like Johnny Smith use this chord all the time. So an example of this chord in a 2-5-1, you could play, say, a D minor 7, and then a G7, and then a C major 7. So in time, 1, 2, 3. So there I was just using a D minor, and I was using the chord in a symmetrical way because, like I said, the chord can be a bit harmonically vague. So sometimes if you repeat the inversion of a minor 3rd, then it creates a bit more of a stable dominant 7 sound. Alright, so that's the example in a 2-5-1. I demonstrated in the intro clip there me playing Misty, and that's the melody for that is like a B flat and a G. So what I'm doing there, I'm actually thinking of these chords as being part of a 2-5-1 in E flat, thinking of B flat, and then I'm harmonising the first 2 notes as if they're in B flat with dominant chords resolving to E flat major there as well. So that's kind of a good chord melody example as to how you can use these half-whole diminished chords. So I hope that helps you out and get started with this chord, this great chord type, this diminished chord. Practice it in your comping, and I think if you have it there as something in your mind as a 2-5-1 option, that's great as well. You may even want to just use it to create static movement within a chord melody. So if you were kind of playing another chord melody, like Moonlight in the Mon, so there I used it in the same kind of way to get back to the E flat in which that chord starts on. So that is that's this week's episode of Chord of the Week. If you enjoyed this, please give this video a like. That will be tremendously helpful. Also, if you subscribe to this channel, that would help me a lot. If you want to learn more about jazz chords, about the types of chords that I feature in Chord of the Week, then I have an exclusive guide called Beginner Jazz Guitar Chords. That's linked to in the description below. There's 120 PDF pages there. I've written out several etudes that demonstrate some of the chords that I include in Chord of the Week. There's audio examples. It's a really detailed course in getting started in jazz guitar chords, beginner jazz chords. You want to check that out. It's in the description below this video. That's it for this week's episodes. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next instalment of Chord of the Week. Cheers!